What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC, our favorite community, your favorite community. I am, of course, Crash, and with me, I've got my fellow traveling world warriors with me, Meza and Static Gorilla, both fresh and warm, hopefully warm, from Frosty Faustings 2026. Gentlemen, absolute pleasure to seeing you guys in person, but now we back in it. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling quite all right. You know, a lot of growth for me to happen. Not from the weekend, but that I have to apply from the weekend. Meza.
Okay.
I'm good. I actually not tired. I have a lot more energy than I thought I would. That's what just surprised me.
My dog.
Yeah, same, man. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The day after, I was kind of gone, but I had a 10-hour flight, afterwards. So I definitely got a little bit of sleep, but I thought I was gonna be like way worse off today. But I'm feeling good.
No, I was asleep all day yesterday, and like I was trying to stay
y'all left
awake,
yesterday.
Yeah,
y'all left in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, wait. What time did you go to sleep when you got home, though? That's the thing.
Oh, when I got home?
Yeah.
I didn't go to sleep when I got home.
Oh, I didn't either. I went to sleep at like 7 at night, and I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I was like, all right, time to get the day started. It's 2XKO.
If I can be brutally honest, I don't remember much of it yesterday.
That's pretty par for the course post-tournament.
I didn't get any sleep Sunday night. I mean, a little bit, but y'all were playing casuals, and all I heard, for some reason, somebody decided to turn 2XKO into Spanish mode. So my dreams were full of sin cabezas.
That was Bacon and George. They were playing the whole time.
Yeah, George would do some shit.
So but that's all fun games. Yeah, no sleep for me, but I'm energized for tonight.
If you guys haven't already, couldn't figure it out, this is going to be a pretty Frosty Faustings centric episode because we got a chance to all be there. It was not actually intended. Let me just put on my top 8 medal.
Excuse me?
No. Shit,
what did you win?
No.
He said, what did you win?
It is a top 8 medal, but no. Shout out to the Frosty team. So I was there for work, right? Like I had to support some tech that Riot was bringing, that we brought from Riot, and it was for like influencers and all. We got to do some really cool IRL stream stuff, and like the team was like, "Thank you for supporting Frosty Faustings 2026 2XKO Major." I'm pretty sure they give this to like partners and all. They just happen to also give it to the team. And I was like, this is a top 8 medal. This make you guys. I was explaining this to the rest of the guys. Like, this is a top 8 medal. You walk around with this, people gonna look at you different.
I mean,
look at you.
Wow. I mean, if you think about it, out of all 3 of us, you're the only one with a Frosty's medal.
You know what? That's gonna change next year.
Because
you know what? I'm gonna volunteer, and I'm gonna get a volunteer medal. That's right.
Okay, we were kind of there. Then it went a little bit to the left. But yeah, so we're gonna be talking all Frosties. This episode, our experiences, what we liked, what we didn't like, what happened, what controversies and conspiracies, and how many screens you're allowed to have for a game. If that means your game is dead, if you only have one, are we corporatized? All that good stuff. The great stuff that Twitter likes to bring about, afterwards, if they were there and actually saw things. But yeah, let's get right into it. And let's jump in. Yo, off the rip, this was my first Frosty Faustings.
Oh,
I have not been. Yes, it was my first Frosties. I've been wanting to go so many times. Actually, Frosty over the years has become an event for me that I was like, I really want to check it out. Like, especially when I was heavy in my Guilty Gear Strive and just Guilty Gear in general, like my anime games. It was like the spot for that. And it's slowly just been growing. It has been growing. I think now it is like the 4th largest tournament in NA. Like we've got Evo, CEO, combo then CEO. One of those two can just fight that one out. And then I would say Frosties.
But then if you don't count like the Smash ones like Genesis, things
I'm talking. Like the Smash numbers always on their own. They are on their own level of things. So that's why I don't want to make a comparison because that gets kind of skewed, and kind of gray. But in terms of like your traditional, quote unquote, traditional fighters.
Could you life bars?
Yeah, right. Whoa, shit.
Shout out to Evan Almighty. He's a Smash head before.
Yeah, shout out. Oh yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to check out that last episode. We had Evan on. It was great to have him on. Shout outs to you, homie. Thank you once again for coming through. It won't be the last time. We'll definitely get you back. But yeah, so first impressions, the venue was dope. It was cool to be at. I liked the layout. I liked how much there was in there, to be honest. So many ballrooms, so many rooms. It definitely gave me a lot of like, East Coasty vibes though. At the same time, was just how some of the event was ran. I was like, okay, I know this song and dance. Artist Alleyway was dope. I love that they had the food. The food just constantly being there, whether or not it was good. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Whether or not it was good is another story, but the food just constantly just being so close and just available all the time in the catering. I was like, hell yeah, and the bar.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Yeah, the bar looks to be open almost all the time,
except for during the day. Just not during the day.
Oh, not during. Well, you know,
if you're talking about like
whatever.
I mean, like once it's like 6, I guess they just open it up and start.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Come on. Come on.
Right. But the food, every time I walked through that artist alleyway, there was something with food happening. And I was like, that's good to know it's there.
I will say, because I've gone for the past 3, maybe 4 years. Well, this will be the 4th year, I believe. The food has significantly gotten better. they actually had hot plates this time compared to before, like 2 years ago. They just had like burgers and hot dogs and foil.
Yeah, bro.
It was expensive as fuck for no reason.
When I was seeing the yellow rice, I was hearing the Spanish. I was like, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah,
they said something here.
I mean,
I know. Yeah, I was kind of like, we might be onto something here. What's going on here? Let me find out the Midwest got the secret check for that.
For what it's worth, me and Gabe did not eat any of that shit.
I ate once.
Oh, you son of a! We went to good places and you went there.
Ironically,
I had to put something in my belly. Okay,
I'm disappointed.
This is for the competitors. This is for the competitors.
And you know what? I avoided. Hold on.
My ass also didn't eat anything.
Listen though, hold up. I'm a sucker for pretzels, and I almost got that jumbo pretzel.
Same.
It was like $10, but I almost got it. But you know what I did? I got a sausage patty hot pocket thing. It's okay. I'm not.
That sounds worse.
You said
it's terrible. I would have taken the pretzel over that shit. All right.
No, I needed some substance.
I felt good. I got my pretzel fix at the airport when I got some Auntie Anne. Shout outs to Auntie Anne's. I miss you, girl. I miss you.
One of the best.
You don't have your fast food fix.
What kind of pretzel do you get from
it's an important question.
I keep it standard. I keep it standard salted, but if I want to get the pepperoni joint, I'll go that way. Like I keep it standard with the frozen lemonade, dog.
You can't can't go wrong with anything standard.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's funny. I like the flavor. I do like the cinnamon one, but I'm a fan of no salt. Just that nice
buttery. Yes, I got you.
Plus, gotta watch.
Give me the sodium.
Gotta watch the blood sugar.
I need something. I need something to quench. So that's why I have to get the frozen lemonade. Anyway, enough talking about food. Sorry. Once again, the food was good.
Artist Alley.
I think the Artist Alley was dope. I am a fan of anything Artist Alley related. When you add to that, when you're supporting these awesome creators that are online, they get to be there and just like talk shop, sell a lot of stuff, have some good stuff, maybe get commissions and all right done there. Big fan myself, and they had a great variety, and everyone there was awesome to talk to. Yeah, so I was like, hell yeah.
If I may, shout outs to. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is this your first one too, Gabe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Shout outs to Enerjax. That's one of the places I got some stickers from. I got a gin. I got a Eno. I needed my Eno. And I have your sticker. I meant to give you your Blue Mary.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait, my Blue Mary. Wait, hold up.
And a Kimberly. I was gonna buy a King, but she ran out.
I just want you to know, if you ship that, it's gonna be like $100, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 50 easy. Don't worry about that. I'll come scoop her up later.
Combo breaker, maybe.
Coming to a city of the wolves.
I'll be at a wedding, so no.
Oh, just give it to me. If he goes, I'll give it to him.
I've lost Justice.
Evo Japan. Let's go, boys.
Shout out to Wave I bought a Justice keychain, which I can't find.
I will say, for the artist gallery, because like I said, I'm going to be the one who has the most experience going there. I felt they always do the structure really nice, and they keep everything kind of in a lane where it's out of the way for people to still walk by. I do say the near the junior ballroom and the lilac room, that is the most frustrating, because that is where the traffic is, because it's where the food is. Everything. Yeah. I mean, it's unavoidable. Maybe they should give them their own room. I don't know. But I think it's still nice. I like seeing a lot of the stuff, and I saw some new vendors. Didn't buy anything. Tried to, hold back because I had too much shit anyway. Well, I did buy something, but
I bought coffee. I went to the Popcorn Baron. I checked out a lot of people.
Okazemi.
Yeah, Okazemi Coffee. I did try their coffee. And you already mentioned it. You mentioned traffic. I didn't want to get into the negative about it yet.
It's not negative. It's unavoidable. No. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, 4,000 plus people registered. I mean, this is like that's attendees. I don't know if that's full. That's including spectators. That's just, from what I understand, that it's just players. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
If that includes attendees, then also that, regardless if it does include attendees, that's still quite a lot. Which one of my biggest things is that I've heard, because this is my first Frostings, I'd heard that at this point they feel, some people that have gone, I've been like, yo, I think they're outgrowing this venue now.
Well,
They're at that cusp of like, yo, I think it's about time now to kind of like step up to either more ballrooms or maybe just a completely different venue in general.
I was there on Thursday and I just felt like, all right, this is not even everyone yet. And I could tell how bottlenecking this can get and or be, especially with the outside, the only one entrance. And there's a lot of, we have 2 security checkpoints you got to go through. Thankfully, security checkpoints went by pretty fast. If you didn't have a bag, you'd go right through. Some of them were checking, but like they were like sparsely checking. And then even if they were, you couldn't bring outside drink. And you're like, it's just a water, or it's just a Monster, or it's just a this. And you had to buy it in the venue, and it could get painstaking. So I do hope that they have a resolution for next year, whether it's the same. I mean, it's only like 10 or 20 minutes away from the old venue for Combo Breaker, or the same venue, pardon me, for Combo Breaker. And I think that venue is pretty fantastic. You have multiple entrances and they all have security checkpoints, which would be fantastic in my opinion. So, but yeah.
The only thing I think that sucks is it loses like the apartments and the extra hotel stuff that's in the area, because it's not that far. Even where we stayed, it wasn't that far. It is a little frustrating to go back and forth, but I can say it's one of those things that's kind of hard to give up because they have the Target right there, so it's an easy walk to get your food, get your setup and stuff. So it's the convenience.
Yeah, hooked up with Target right there was really nice.
I didn't go.
Neither did I.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think that was good. I love the just the other additional vendors they had, like right there, like your standard like stick modders and sellers there. I literally don't even know 100% what model this leverless is. I just know it's aluminum. This shit is thin. This shit is heavy, and I like the clickiness of it. So I went and just like copped this without even.
That is the Quamba. Mez is holding up a Quamba, by the way.
I'm holding up.
It is a Quamba.
Yeah, you bought that, right?
Yeah, I bought this from Quamba. This is the Sapphire.
Was Quamba there?
Yeah, they were there. They were on the right side of the corner. They were like right after Arcade Paradise stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the stick. At the same time, Quamba, sponsor me. Shout outs. You guys were like super. They were super awesome. They literally everything that they told me. I'm not going to disclose some things, but I will say some people one of the guys did kind of juice me up a little bit. He was like, "Look, hey man, I get this, I get that." So yeah.
All right. So I mean, comparing Frosty, like how was this is like kind of like one of the big questions, one of the 2 big questions before we take a quick break. I know we've been ranting a little bit already. Is how did Frosty like just how does that compare to like other events at this point? Like, to you guys, like what does it do just well? Like, give me a couple of bullet points here. Like, what is this doing well compared to other events? Like, is it just the spacing? Is it just how they've been able to run some of the events? Like, what do you like about it? I'd
say I did like before how prompt they were and that they had space to do Sunday, and it looks as though like they were like, hey, we're doing this event
also 3
Thursday.
First 3 day, right?
Thursday was teams, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was 4 days this time.
Yeah, it's 4 days.
It used to be something like that. 2 or 3, but still the fact that they were able to fit everything in on the 4 days and not necessarily a bump or finish on time, and things were on time. I did like that a lot.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I love about them is they are prompt on time with every single, whether it's bracket, and even the side vortex stuff is on time too. So it feels like everything flows really well. I think that's my favorite part. Is I've been to a lot of events. I think this one's one of my favorites for viewing. If you're a spectator, I think this is like one of the best experiences that you can get to being in the crowd and not paying like $100,000 or going all the way to Las Vegas to get that full experience of seeing a big event. So yeah, I really like that part about it the most.
I got you, and actually, yeah, I could see that. Like if I were to change one thing, like say next year, for it, like what would I want to hear from you guys as well? Like for me, it would be the venue for sure. Yes. Like I think it, like because also this was rare for me because I actually went to an event, did the entire event. I wasn't there as a competitor. I was there to work. I mean, going to work events is fine. Going to work for the event is fine, but I was going there because of work. it was a different feeling. So I got to really see things as like really that spectator, that person that's going around to check out the casuals, to really talk to the people, to check out the vendors and just play games and just, really get that community feeling more than the competitive feeling, right? Like community versus competitive is what I was really in there for. But I think the venue, if this is like the highest they've been at, the venue felt a little tight in some areas. I think it'll be a time for an expansion for me next year. What about you guys have before we go to break? What is one thing you would change for Frosties for next year?
Okay. Yes, venue, certainly. Second, I think I already said the thing with the security. However, let me see. A venue that has sufficient bathroom, because I don't know how the main ballroom could have a bathroom that had 5 stalls.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
I got you.
So
I always actually ended up running to the one by Artist Alleyway, to be honest.
Yeah, that one it was pretty large. That was like large square footage for some reason.
There were lines going out that bathroom.
Yeah, that's the one that scared me though. I was like, what is happening here? But that's the thing, like there's so many people, and it's just like I'm sure there's other convention spaces that just have like countless bathrooms you can go to. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just the venue that was really my gripe. Yeah, go ahead, Mez. You may have something I might agree with.
Honestly, I love this venue, but they have outgrown it. That is a big gripe for everybody. I personally think if they do choose to stick with this venue, God, please move the food. Move the food into an actual ballroom. We don't need we have so much space. There's no need to have one ballroom for just viewing top 8 for a different game. It's just
definitely maximize that hallway square footage. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I love that we have other hallways, but those hallways are being used for people playing fucking card games and shit. So it's if you really want to do that, have a section for the card games, but move the food into one smaller sectional I just think that's it. Just move the food. It's too fucking in the way. I think with the art, and you can fit a little bit more artist gallery stuff, and we don't have to worry about people crowding it as much.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because it's food, a lot of people are going to be there and they're going to want it. So it tends to line up, right? It's going to take some time. So then you're just constantly packing more and more people, and it's just going to go around. It's happened a couple times, and because it was so close to also the security checkpoint, I could see why that could also cause kind of a backup, right?
Also, the one quick note is they got to find another spot for picking up your badge. They do badges really well, picking it up, but that shit needs to be in a way different spot, because I feel like I have to walk all the way down, and if not that, it's a long ass line, and I'm okay, this cuts into everything else, whether I want to buy a Vitrix stick or something else like that, and it goes out the door almost. So that should change.
Yeah, when I got a badge, and I'm like, is the venue back here? And it's like, no, the venue's over there. I was so confused.
All right, bet. All right, so with that, we're going to be taking a quick break, guys. Those are our first impressions for Frosty Faustings 2026, at least for some of us that have gone there for the first time. We're going to be back after this break, where we're going to be jumping in some of the more little details of the competitive side of things, like the tournament's results, and who decides to spike some water for some people. So we'll get into that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. We've had our first run-ins, like I said, some of us with Frosty Faustings this year. Venues looking good, a little tight in certain areas, but it's kind of it's like suffering from success kind of deal, right? They're I've got just so many people coming. It's I guess it's about that time to maybe make some venue changes and actually start expanding even more, which comes with more cost. But hey, that also comes with more people coming and being comfortable coming through. Speaking of coming through, man, the ballroom, the main spot, the area where if you're pressing buttons and you just want your opponent, at least for a lot of the mainstream games, there's plenty of other ballrooms too, but we're talking about the main big ballroom where stage and all that was set up. That was the room to be in, whether you were playing Strive, Grand Blue, Street Fighter, City of the Wolves, or of course 2X, also Rev 2 and plus R. That was the place to be at, and man, a lot of energy. I love the space there. I'm glad it was never so tight. Of course, even at its busiest, it was only really pockets of it that was really tight, but plenty of setups, lots of PlayStation 5s just farting heat right into your controller's
Oh my
USB
God.
port and your face. Like, yo, we gotta
find a
we
fucking
gotta figure out some other way to do this. Yeah,
cooling
that is
systems or
that is
something
rough.
for them.
That is rough. But I think it was overall great. So like, what in there? What game do you think had the most energy in the room when it came to the ballroom?
Guilty Gear.
Bam! Thank you, Mez. Yes.
Fucking hate that they put it where they put it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say yes. Like, people can be like, but QX got the most entries. Yes, they did. But bro, motherfuckers are there to run the gears, and it was not like there was multiple events where you would just see a crowd of people around somewhere and people are just yelling. Tournament's already over, or top eight's already been like done, and they're just waiting. People are still racking, plays, and people are going nuts, like yelling, going wild, recording. Guilty Gear had incredible energy. I think it had the most energy when it came to just like overall.
It's just funny because like people would think because 2XKO was there, it would have like top 8. Yeah, of course, that's normal.
Yes, of course, top 8 was insane.
I will be honest. All the seats were filled when 2XKO was on screen. When Guilty Gear wasn't, people were not fully in those seats, but most of them were playing other games. But most were playing Guilty Gear. And I will say, every time I walked in that ballroom, I fucking hated it because they put Guilty Gear, Rev 2, and all the other stuff that's Guilty Gear right in the dead center, right in the fucking doorway.
Yeah.
So everybody's crowded around there. Please, move them up front, bro. I don't want them right where I want to walk through. All right? I'm just saying, like, put City of the Wolves there. I don't fucking know anything but that. Guilty Gear.
You're just saying, give it a buffer of some kind.
Yeah,
give it a buffer,
we just
because
need
it's
space.
gonna be wild.
Just need space.
Yeah. When it was a lot of people there, as soon as you walk into that doors, it was kind of like that was the most that you had to kind of navigate through people because it was rather dense. Maybe a little bit of spacing out wouldn't have been a bad look, but maybe they also did that thinking hindsight 2020 here is because like you couldn't put 2X anywhere on there because if there's any chance that any setup could have 4 people, not 2 people on the right, or two to 4 people. I can't even say just 2 or 4.
Sometimes people were just watching. A lot more watching.
Yeah, on top of that. But yeah, I think that game had a lot of energy. What about best moments that you guys had while being there?
I'll come off right off the bat. I don't care what anybody says. No, fucking Grand Blue top 8. They can say whatever they want. That shit, I was looking out the corner of my eye every time, and then it fully got my attention, even during top 24 or 2XKO. And I Blue Sky, bro, that dude is fucking cracked. The shit he was doing and the way the crowd was filling it, like I've never seen a match in a long time since like Street Fighter 4 maybe, where both players are clashing and doing things that you would see at the highest of highest levels in any of the games. I'm like, my brain. I was like on the edge of my seat more for that than I was anything else. I think Grand Blue caught my eye. I almost wanted to play it, bro, and I had to stop myself.
No, don't fall for the trap.
No.
What about you, Gabe?
Well, Sunday was the finals day. Because I made a recommendation of food, we took a long time to get to the venue. So therefore, we were watching. Most of what we were watching was, top 24 2X and top 8 of Street Fighter while we're at the restaurant. And I was quite impressed to find out the winner of Street Fighter. Sorry if there's spoilers, but
there will be spoilers. Hold on, spoilers.
Okay?
Spoiler warning right here in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler territory. Let's go.
Shout outs to Blue for taking Street Fighter 6, who was just a DJ. I was watching a Broski video recently where he was like, DJ might be secret top tier, and what do you figure out? This guy won. Yeah, there was a lot of maybe upsets going on. There were plenty of upsets in Street Fighter as well. So I'm, the Street Fighter head. I was watching and listening, paying attention more to that, which is what I did like all the Street Fighter matches. By the way, every match, a lot of the matches in Street Fighter, even in pools that were on the stream, were not just, it's just pools. No, everybody looked like they were hungry except for me. But everybody who was on stream looked very hungry and was ready to play. Like, it was crazy. Pretty good competition out there.
It's because you had that sausage patty, dog. You were good. So for me, actually the best moments for me was actually, don't get me wrong, top 8 incredible. like they were up there on any game, really, on any of those games, like anywhere I was. If I was in the ballroom, because I was obviously running around a bit for work, when I was in the ballroom and top 8 was going on, I had to stop, I had to watch. Like I just had to stop, I had to watch and just like soak it in. The community, the reactions, the gameplay, it's incredible. It was great to like be in that mix again. But for me, what I really was my favorite was just the amount of players that I got to hang out and play with that were just international, like just straight international. Like Japan showing out for 2X was dope, right? With the twins coming, they brought a lot of people as well, a lot of players from their scene, and I just got to kick it with them and got to play, and it was just great. Like I'm sure I probably could play them online, right? Being in EMEA and all that, it's not that hard. But to actually like sit down with them and just like, hey, just trying to run it, cool, and just seeing the differences in style, it was just great. Like I kind of had a bit of a marathon there with a couple of them, and it was I had the most fun there. It was a nice reminder. It was just a nice reminder of what like these events could do for someone who's just like enjoying the game, trying to play, trying to learn, trying to see what others are doing, especially when it's like outside of like your area or even your entire region. So playing the Japanese players was like really dope. It kind of just gave me like some like OG like feelings. Like if you saw like some of the old clips or old videos and tapes of like even as early on as like MVC2, like some MVC2 Jap players that were out there, like the very far few in between that existed, or when like Street Fighter 4 dropped and then international play started becoming a bit more like there was already international play going on, but like it really started kind of expanding. I was already getting that feeling early on, because it's not even just Japan but also like French, right? There was like the France that really came out, showed out. I mean, I don't know if anyone was really surprised. Brazil as well. They're about mashing those buttons for sure. No pun intended.
Israel too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been showing
Zando coming out.
I think he's been going to every Frosties for the past 3 years.
I think I could say this for all of us. I think the number one thing, at least in my book, was just reconnecting and seeing all friends. And it made me feel like at home a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, man, is this what I've been missing? Like, this is why I'm like feeling off. I feel way more invigorated because I got to see everybody and just talk. Not even talk about games sometimes, just talk about whatever. How you doing? You got kids now? Hopefully not. Maybe so. Who knows? So
you got George doing, I don't know, handstand core exercises on the floor and explaining to you what like the cheat code to doing it. I'm like, what? And like, this is what I've missed. I did miss this shit. Just that feeling. Absolutely. But that for me was the kind of like that kind of created the best moments. What about like the saltiest moments of the day? Like what about like when you were just not feeling it? I think I know Gabe's, but I can't say myself. I'm not really I'm not okay. I don't have to say one because Gabe will say plenty for me because I was there for work, so I had no investment outside of making sure my work and everything I was intended to do was done, and it did. So I got no real salty moments. But what about you, Bez?
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't even like losing in tournament where I did, because I think that would have been it. And it's not even, and this is true, I'm gonna state this. Me and Dre played on the last day. We played 32 games. I only won 2 games. New team, only won 2 games. New
team. Let's premise that.
I wasn't even salty about that.
New team, and I had a new controller. So it's was weird for both of us.
I wasn't even salty about that. I was fucking salty the day we got there, and I went 0-10 against Dre. And I felt like I couldn't do anything. Yo, that fucked up my whole day.
It did.
The next day I felt good because I went to sleep. Right? I went to sleep early. Bro, I left and went to sleep early because I was that upset.
Listen, there is no mercy here.
No, I'm
you
glad.
Step up, we're fucking playing. I know. I'm not saying
glad,
like you would
also,
expect. I know you wouldn't expect it, but yeah, I know.
Because
I know. But you know what? Just sometimes.
Because I was losing. I was also losing the game right after. No offense, Gabe.
So no, I did. Like you were tilted, and then like the first
you were
match,
tilted beyond belief.
I could feel like, one, every time I get a hit with Yasuo, I never feel good. 2, I knew that once I did hit you with the super, you like didn't move, and I was like, oh, he's mad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, but I'm not gonna keep up because he'd get mad at me if I were to like to hold back.
I can't.
So
I would definitely be pissed at you.
So I was like, let me keep whooping his ass and see what happens.
I got the placement I deserved.
Let me keep whooping his ass and see what happens. Just gonna do that.
Life
What a
lesson
game.
for those who are new getting into FGC. Okay, get your ass whooped. Stick with it. There'll be so much more.
Just stick with it.
Yeah.
Power
In
through it.
the
Power
words
through
of
it for
LT,
sure.
in order to get clean, you got to get washed.
There you go.
Oh.
What about you, Static? Give us your top 5 real quick before we go off on our next break.
Yeah, well, 5 because I entered 4 games and I lost all 4. The 5th was because I
0-2
did
on
money
all of
match. No, I money matched someone for some reason and I lost that too. Dre was there. He saw it. We don't need to go into details.
I watched it.
I'm sure Jacob Man will upload it and
We'll go into extensive detail. Oh yeah, that's right, because he did record it.
With that being
You'll hear me
said-
be like, this fucking idiot.
Keep in mind,
Wow.
Giobron said to him, he said, "Don't do it, Gabe. I don't think you should do it."
It was too late. I already accepted when Giobron said
Yeah,
that
he
to
already
me.
accepted it. That point.
But with all that being said, very fun. DJ Vest did get me. I know DJ Vest, blah blah blah. Cool cat though. We hugged it out, whatever. But there is this. So Fatal Fury is not too salty. I got to beat somebody who modern Salvatore. Okay. Then I had to play Score. Why? By the way, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to wait a while because Score is in grand finals over there. Winners finals is KOF." I'm like, "Great. I know. Yeah, that's great. It's gonna happen." But I did take a round, and I was quite happy with that. I'm happy with my performance in that game. Then I just lost to some random rock player. George was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, losing." Next was what game? Marvel 3. Marvel 3 was fine. I ended up losing to Tong of all people. Tong of all people. 3-1. And then I ended up beating Young Legend, and then I had to play let me see, Clockwork. Yeah, Clockwork of Strider fame. I almost beat him. It was 3-2. It was very close. You know,
A man literally wrote the book to the game.
that's what I'm saying. I went to mix up Doctor Doom, so I killed Virgil. Went to mix up Doctor Doom, and then you know how Sentinel has the drones, and then when Sentinel's out with drones, well, I was like, all right, I'm gonna mix up the Doctor Doom. He foot dives across the screen, hits Sentinel, all the drones disappear. So I was like, okay, great. Now I'm losing. Why am I losing? And then Strider was alive with level 3. Fast forward to the next day. Did you notice how I never said that I played any Street Fighter casuals the entire weekend?
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't play any
you
Street Fighter
did.
casuals the entire weekend. Thus, I was not prepared. So, first opponent doesn't show. I go up on a stage, have no idea what I'm doing. Every hit that I get, I couldn't confirm. Every single hit. So, now I'm going to go ahead and try to do a video of me, confirming those hits, what could have been and what would have been. But at the same time, I watched the clip back. I watched the clip back on Brian F's podcast. I'm not podcast, excuse me. We're the podcast. No, I watched it back on the Brian F live stream, and he said the same thing. And I'm like, oh, dear God. So that's all the salt. And then what was the last game I entered? Oh, 2XKO. Yeah. I know George Giobron, our friend that was with us the entire time. He's going to get mad at me for saying this, but I really don't like the game on PS5. I just don't. It's
For 2X?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one.
There were combos where maybe I didn't do enough or I didn't practice enough on it, but there were just, and I warmed up pretty well. I just couldn't get my footing on the game. And well, I mean, maybe I should just get the game. It's not expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to get.
But yeah, so that was my weekend. Did end up having a lot more fun. I feel like I'm enjoying more of watching a lot of players play and get to a certain point. I noticed that a lot of players, and I know I'm getting a little too off the cuff and going a little long, but I do like seeing that a lot of players are actually looking to do a lot more self-growth in these games and in the games that they're looking to play. And I don't know if it's just maybe that it's the early part of the year thing. Like we just started 2026 and everybody's sort of finding their goals now, and that's pretty cool. I do enjoy seeing that.
I just want to state for the record, 'cause I
sorry.
just want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Yo, fuck whoever sets up the stream stuff, because me and Hikari were supposed to play on stream, and then they fucking kicked us to the side, and then they had some fucking washed people playing on stream. I don't care. I'm sorry, whoever was on fucking stream. Fuck you. It should have been me versus him, so I could see what I did wrong. Okay, even if I was gonna lose, I was more.
Man.
That was
You're more
obvious,
salty
like,
that you don't get tapes.
I didn't get a chance, bro. I didn't get a chance.
Man.
Even losers
That's right.
finals. What the fuck?
That's right. We did look at your bracket and we were like, yeah, you're projected to fight Hikari. I was like, you got this shit. And
I did make it there. That made me happy.
You didn't get a chance to actually play, to actually get footage of you playing.
Yeah.
Which I can see that sucks.
And I did some shit.
That is valuable. That like how Static said, like that's great like self-reflection and all that. Like having these tapes, pretty strong. Static's got all kinds of tapes that he has to go ahead and look at. But okay, yeah, as long as you got it somewhere.
Yeah, it's called Switch My Fucking Team, and that makes it better.
It also helps when it's on that Google Drive somewhere, so you can get to it. All right. We're going to be taking a quick break, guys. When we get back, we're going to be talking about what Frosty kind of means in the state of the FGC and a couple other things to kind of get you thinking. So we wrap it up this episode afterwards. But don't go anywhere. Be right back. Yo, that is a fat cat. But welcome back to the ad. Welcome back from the ad. Sorry, dog. Mezza got me messed up. He just pulled out his cat out of nowhere. Yeah, you got to watch the video to see what I'm talking about there. But we're back. Frosty Faustings 2026. It was overall, like I said, great experience. Great experience for any player on any level to go and enjoy. It was so much fun for myself to just, like I said, to play some players that I would normally not get a chance to. And how Static said, like, self-reflection on things. This is the first tournament of the year. A lot of people, this is their first tournament of the year. They're going to start their circuit this year with that. And they're going to kind of project themselves as to, like, how or what goals they want to, like, reach by the end of it, right? Some could be to make top 8. Well, some could be not drowning out of pools. Some could be just to get as many matches as they possibly can to level up. Whatever it may be, this was, like, kind of, like, the first tournament to step in that direction. At least in the major side. You could do that in locals. But when we're talking majors, when everyone is there, it's pretty valuable. But what do you guys feel like? How does Frosty 2026 kind of tell us about like the FGC right now? Like when it comes to like how the event is running or how it's been kind of portrayed online, how the streams have been going. Like, do attendees equivalent to the same amount of energy in the room, right? Like we were talking about earlier, how like, you know, hey, 2X had the most attendees, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was the loudest, right? But that doesn't mean there wasn't still also a lot of love and a lot of energy being put into like these players that are trying to just get better. That definitely was still there. The community aspect was still definitely very much there. But like how else do you think the FGC like took Frosty 2026?
Okay, so I feel like this was the first time in a long time I've seen not like a few players that got motivated. It was usually like top players who was good, like, oh man, yeah, we got this like new lit fire to keep going. This was the first time I've seen international players get knocked out early and was like, what the fuck? All right, back to the drawing board. Like, what are we doing? Well, like, we flew out here for what? Like, nothing almost? So I think it also kind of struck everybody as a surprise that if a 16-year-old kid can beat everyone's ass, if people who were originally Guilty Gear gods have fallen, like Nitro didn't win, you know what I mean? So like, if you could see that, even with Grand Blue, you know, a lot of players you would expect to win did not win. So it's like this whole turning of the gears where everybody is literally like, I forgot what it's like to be offline. Locals aren't as much. It's mostly play on TNS online, you know, shout outs to them. And of course, a few other tournaments. But now I think people have kind of like figured it out. Shit, we need to be back at locals. We need to be back at tournaments. So I think we're going to see this insane spike of players just going hard. New players are going to start popping up because, come on, a 16-year-old who nobody knew his name before, now they do. He has a documentary about himself already. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fire that's lit, and I love that it was Frosty, because Frosty's is kind of like a homegrown, you know, very down to earth tournament that feels very old school. So I'm glad that was the tournament that kicked off. It wasn't like Evo or CEO, even Combo Breaker. I like that it was Frosty.
I dig that. It's actually, you know, that is a really good point. This is kind of to see a story like that happen so naturally. And also, you know, kind of the planets aligning, right? New game, first tournament, on console release, and it's the most entrants in the entire tournament for this said game. And it was a 16-year-old kid that like everyone was like, even ourselves, right? If you look at the last episode, we're like, yo, like the twins, Sonic, K7, Yasha, like all these killers, and you're like expecting that. So you're thinking, okay, cool, we're just gonna, check that box and already see the ending coming. None of them were. I mean, they were on top 8, top 24, right? Like, still, they were not out of the woodwork, right? Like, right, Super Noon, second place. Wouldn't be surprised if he took first, right? Like, no one would have been like, right? No, it would have been like, cool. EG picked up the dub instantly. Good for them. But the fact that it was Bleed, and just like it being a local player, which is like, well,
no,
it was
Cali.
the beautiful.
Cali.
Oh, it should be Cali. Sorry, Cali. Well, you know what's funny? I might as well say thank you. He's local. The way fucking everybody was just on him, like was Bleed, like, and kept throwing it up there. I first, before I realized he was Cali, I was like, yo, local kid, like in there, like let's fucking go. But regardless, like the fact, like I had to like explain it or like kind of talk to a couple of coworkers there that were just like, they know of the fighting game scene, but like maybe like hadn't gone to an event before, so like they were learning. And I'm like, hey man, it's the beautiful part about fighting games is that like anybody can come out here and they're the ones that are gonna take the dub. Like it's like, yes, we will have killers and we have likely high top playing players that are going to be there and will be in the grand finals, and no one's gonna bat an eye about it. But there's always that chance that someone could come out and show out that nobody, maybe relatively known, or just like this was, I believe, his first offline major.
Yes,
he's an online player. Came out and just took the dub from everybody. Just to give me that. Like I don't have, I am that. I am him, is what he was saying, and it worked out. And it was just like, it's just the stars aligned. And I was like, what was beautiful about it is that it hasn't changed. That idea that it could happen has not changed. Yes, more information is out there. More tech is out there. Anybody can do this. Anybody can go out, learn, practice, get your lumps on, continue growing and get to that level. And everyone's like, yes, it can happen. But will it always happen? No. But this was just like one of those moments of like, damn, look, you could point at it and just be like, look, this is it. Best tweet I've seen. There, Josh. Kid won the game, got 20K, got to go do Algebra 3 tomorrow for school. It is what it is. Like, there's no other esports you could be saying some shit like that on.
I'll throw 2 more things in there. I believe, I want to believe, and I want to say, the only other person to win at that age on that big stage of that caliber was Sonic Fox, I believe, at Frosty. And the funny part is, he did what he did, like a Sonic or any of those type of players who were like, if I do this, I'm gonna win. So you know how like Sonic was like, he tweeted out, he was like, if I beat this person, I'm winning the whole thing. He literally said, if I make top 96, I'm happy. If I make top 48, okay. He said if I make top 24, it's possible. Then he goes, I make top 8, I'm winning the whole thing. Like, I love that because he went back to that tweet. He said, look, I said it. It was progression. And I love that because that's the story. That's the story.
It was dope. What about you, Gabe? How's Frosty kind of like, is Frosty a message to like the health of the fighting game scene for you? Like, do you see that it represents like how we're doing right now? Is there anything that concerns you? Anything that you might be like, yo, I'll put it out there. I still love the degeneracy of it. It's just, not to say like degeneracy like super bad, but it's like, hey, it is just homegrown. It's about playing games at the end of the day. That's what people are there for. And to talk that shit, pranks. The pranks are another one. Somebody spiked the water. Supposedly, I didn't get hit with it. I haven't seen where that hit with it.
That was the last room of where we were. It was the next room over.
Okay. Yeah. That went down, and it was like, hey man, kids are still there, right? Got to remember there's kids, there's parents. Plenty of fighting game players that have grown up, got kids. They're bringing them around. They need to go get water. Like, you don't want to put somebody like that in danger or have that happen, right? That could, if that were to really have happened, like that could have shut down the event, which is crazy. That's why it's very dangerous. On the other side of that, I'm like, yo, bro, it was like 20, 30 some dollars on the bar, yo. This man was doing us a fucking favor. No, I was like, I heard that happen. I was like, where? Let me try it. Let me see. I need to get loose. What's going on here?
Yeah, but
what about you, Gabe?
If it was some other type of substance, when people were saying they were dizzy or some sort, that's a no.
Yeah. No. I heard it was just like something like that.
Yeah,
like, all right,
right.
But like, But how you feel? How do you think about like how Frosty represents us right in the state of the fighting game community?
Well, I don't. You had to sort of
it's a little more fractured.
The thing is, you had to sort of be there, and that's what I don't get. Where I didn't notice any of the sort of like, the other. Okay, there's two levels to this, right? There's the you had to be there, but those that were there complained about smell, and even though you had to be there, and the people that complained that weren't there, they would complain about screens and things, even though they weren't there, and they just see what they saw, you know? And those that weren't there, I'm sure you even had a good time watching it online anyway, because, I mean, you already have all of these streams that are running things pretty well established. You had Yipes streams running in the other venues, or in the other ballrooms. You had Low Kick Esports running the Street Fighter, and KOF and Pedo Fury, or whatever it was on that screen. Tampa Never Sleeps. You had all of the above, all of those that were running. So like, I think like, I hate that the fact that what came out of this was just a narrative of like, oh, what screens are going to be taking what, and like if you were there, you would have seen that Grand Blue's screens would have been, Grand Blue was on the side, just like Street Fighter was on the side while the main game was going on. One thing, by the way, I can comment on about that is that they had the commentary booth on center stage, which had a screen behind it, which I felt like was empty space. And plus, they had the players next to them, which was under another screen or between two screens. I don't remember exactly. But that was a choice because that almost took up 3 screens. And I did look at that as it was weird, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it's something new or different, but at least each game has their like sort of screen thing. But it's always been the thing. The CEO did it last year. Combo Breaker does it all the time, where they're like, have a screen, and then put a screen on the side, like, or they merge all the screens, whatever. That's why I'm like, well, okay, who cares? But I just hope that something that is relatively small doesn't kidnap the whole narrative of what actually what happened. That was which was a well-ran tournament, a tournament that was well paced. That ended early, and freaking, and not only did it end early, it ended early for the people that were there, and you were able to still do things. It didn't just hard stop. Like, you were still able to go to the other areas for like an extra hour or 2 hours, play nonstop, karaoke nonstop, just talk to people nonstop, and I haven't seen that in a long time. So I was like sitting there like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? You know? yeah, I got you. So, so you think it has some of the best qualities? Yeah, sure. I like it. Yeah, some of the best qualities. I can't talk too much. I don't know the TOs of I don't know Oven Shadow. I don't know. Is it Hyannis?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know the others. I know Elven Shadow for sure.
Yeah, I don't know them, so I can't be like, oh, what did you guys? I can't really like sort of like find out what else, or I don't have any scoops about anything. But my recollection to it all was a well-run tournament, except for the fact that the venue was kind of small, or at least bottlenecking. Again, what does it say about the FGC now? It just tells you that the internet is just going to be in, the Twitters of the universe are just going to be influenced by what makes the most narrative.
I promise I won't.
I got you.
I'll just say I promise I won't get mad about it. But all I'll say is, for Grand Blue players who were there, you guys had an exciting
it was awesome.
We were watching, even though we were watching 2XKO and Guilty Gear, we were still looking and watching Grand Blue on the side. It was enjoyable. Everybody else that wasn't there, shut the fuck up. You weren't there. And
that's
then
you should show up.
And I will highlight one of my most favorite parts of the tournament that I think drives such a factor that other people who were probably feeling they couldn't play the game because maybe a disability or some sort. Yo, they had the ASL stream put up midway through top 24 so that people who may have been in the crowd who might have been deaf could see the sign language. And if not, it was a stream for it. So I don't know. I mean, the takeaway to me is water, whatever, all the complaints. Shut the fuck up.
The smell.
We had the smell. Okay, that one I don't think we could take away. I think people need to do that. Okay, wash your ass, bro. That's not that hard.
Sometimes,
we need
if
you though, we need that deodorant sponsor.
However, if it was a fart, like some people gotta find a spot to crop dust. You know what I'm saying? No,
I let that shit right there. I'm like, I don't care.
If people can smell it through the screen, bro, that's a problem. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Until smell-o-vision comes out, that's when you can complain. But until then, don't worry about that shit. You wasn't there. But
if I could be honest though, I'm surprised that like a lot more of the narrative hasn't shifted to like PlayStation's being an issue and like how hot, like they are, dude. The amount of heat that comes off of them is just like something has to be done. And you know what? Maybe more of those little hubs that they were using for 2v2s, like that needs to be implemented regularly.
Oh my fucking god! Why didn't we just have them at every station? At one point, Dre was like, "What you doing, bro?" I was like, "I'm basically helping the tournament by moving over one." Because it was
remember.
Like I had to tell people like, "Hey, man!" Like I was telling, like me and Hikari sat down to play, and I was like, "Do not plug your shit in that." I was like, "Plug it into the hub, bro. Your shit probably might burn out or burn into it. It's not worth it, especially because we're both playing in tournament. Like that's not something most competitors might do because they might want the advantage. Fuck that. I want to play you at your best, so I beat you at your best. I don't want any, this happened. So when I think they might need to invest in like the little cooling system. But I will say, if we are having this many issues with PS5s, I'm not saying let's switch to PC. Maybe they need to go through every single PS5. I want to say that, but alternative, let's put new SSDs into the PS5s. They will run smoother. Maybe we'll get a lot less issues, and maybe it'll cool better. If you put they have an actual cooling unit thing that you could put on top of it that'll actually keep most of the PS5 cool. So I mean, there's a lot of modded stuff that you could do that's cheap. It doesn't require you to pry the whole damn thing open. I'm just saying they got to come up with something.
I don't know how practical that's gonna be because TOs also run on like incredibly thin margins, if not like they're in the negatives to do this. So it's like, don't get me wrong,
120, this 150 for
conversation
SSD versus a whole new
150,
PC.
150 for an SSD for one machine versus how many?
But you might be buying a lot of PCs.
That shit scales a lot. Yeah, but you have to look at the logistics on it. Like it is not that easy. This is a conversation that is like fucking as old as time itself. I had a chance to sit down with a couple of players and even some of the other devs from the 2XKO team to just talk about like PCs and just like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like, what's really holding us back? This, that, and the other. That's gonna be a thing until something. We're still waiting for like the right product that hits. But when it does, trust, we'll be there. But standardization on fighting games, like, we're making it with the best that we got.
Didn't somebody suggest instead of getting like a Steam Deck, because I think you were talking about it because it can't really run Riot.
It can't.
There was another thing. I was like Alley or something like that.
I don't know.
There's another thing that I think you told me about.
I have to peep it out.
Because maybe that's the best option if we can do
that.
Ally. Yeah, maybe that might
ROG
be.
Ally, yeah.
If it runs
because it's native Windows. It's native Windows. That's why. It's because if you run anything that's Linux, which, once again, if you're trying to keep overheads lower, like, we can go free because Linux is like, starting to, Linux gaming is starting to grow. But unfortunately, things like Vanguard anti-cheats for not just Riot Games, but really any game that's running anti-cheat and such for that level, does not, this has compatibility issues with Linux. So you're just inviting all kinds of complications. But like I said, that's another conversation. At the end, I think Frosty's was like a good check of how healthy the fighting game scene is, and I think it's definitely going on the side of the better. Could be a little skewed because 2X, once again, first do tournament for it, a lot of hype around it. Top 8 was freaking amazing. All the matches that went down, seeing it at that level was incredibly humbling as well to see. Be like, oh man, yeah, bro, I played this game pretty fast, and I watched these motherfuckers play it. I'm like, all right, I'm barely in gear 2. These guys are on 5th gear, like on this shit. It's insane. Like at one point it was like 2 freestyles. I forget which match it was, but it was definitely 2 freestyles going on, and it was just handshake, the handshake, the handshake, the handshake. Like literally sequentially, I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like y'all processed all that like instantly? That was crazy. I'd never seen a sequence like that in a competitive match at that level.
I wanted to add to that because it's like we haven't seen we've seen some. You know, me and Meza and George went to DIY, but it's just like never at this point of like contention. Like there was just so much. I didn't think it would be that hype, to be honest. And it was, especially where people were like, "Oh, I was falling asleep watching Echo and Echo fight," and I'm like, "Then you don't know the game." Like once you, and I think I said this last week, didn't I? Something about knowing when you know the game, you can actually stay awake or just be a bit more.
Something like that.
It can be a bit more invested in a game when you know about it.
Yeah, when you understand it a little bit more.
Right.
For sure. But what it definitely was also a point for me was like, like was just the doom and gloom when you get on Twitter and this and that about. I'm like, yo, like yes, like it's not perfect. Like no event is perfect. Let's just be real. Put 4,000 sweaty gamers together. Like it's gonna be there will be some problems that come up. It is what it is. But the TOs, they do an incredible, and the event runners, they do an incredible job on accounting for all of that. Obviously due to experience and all. For running it for so long. So this is what, like Frosty, 16 or something like that? Like I can't even remember like how many Frosty Faustings, or 10 or I cannot remember.
I think this is 18 because I sent a
18?
link.
Jesus Christ. I
sent a link to my friend and he was like, "Oh, for a second there, I thought you were sending me Final Fantasy 18 things." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Wow.
Oh, that's Roman numerals. Got it. Yes, 18 it is. Yes.
Yeah. Which like I said, comes on par of that. But I think overall it was great. Like the general vibes, I got it while I was there, like on every level. Even if you were if you were either playing in the ballroom, playing in the side ones with some other games, or playing rhythm games right there on the entrance, it was just good vibes all the way through. There was never really any issues. The only issues I had was just dumb stuff. I almost slipped like 3 fucking times on that floor because I don't know where besides the entrance, sure, but I was like water in places I didn't understand, and I almost like slipped and ate shit like 3 times. And it was getting annoying after the second one. I was like, yo, somebody mop, like do something, please. And then eventually they did some cone off some stuff, and it was way bigger of a cone off for water than I thought. I was like, what's going on with this place?
It looked like there was a leak coming from the ceiling onto the bell
Didn't
desk.
they have a fire department show up? Because we saw a fire truck.
Actually,
maybe
I should have
or something.
No, it's supposed to was like pipe or something.
So 2 things. One, maybe I should have slipped. I would have maybe gotten some money. But 2, there was like medics and stuff showing up because unfortunately, I'm not gonna say who, but one of the rioters that actually is in charge of taking pictures and all that was taking pictures when Bleed won, and Bleed's brother like went to give Bleed a hug. Homeboy was next to him, and he just he caught a shiner right in the fucking face, and I think he got concussed.
Hey man,
I'm not laughing at you, dog. I appreciate you, and I was there with you, but bro, I mean, even I was in the room. I was like, well, it's not a fighting event unless somebody goes to the hospital, so it is what it is. You just ended up being that. But yeah, maybe that's also what you maybe saw, because like when I got to a certain room, it was just like had multiple medics and such. I was like, what happened now? Like what? Like I thought he was alright. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a great health check. I think overall it was amazing. They did an incredible job. Shout outs to the team. Everyone, the volunteers, everyone that was involved in making it happen. It was big. Shout outs to Big Dame.
Big Dame won an award.
That's the Big Dame not recognizing me as soon as I got into. I went to get my badge. It's just me and him. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for my badge, and he's just looking at me. Yeah, you a spectator, this that, and the other. I'm literally just standing there looking at him.
I mean, you got a beard now.
And then I went, Dame, it's me, and he was just like, oh. I was like, dog, like. Well, it's he says it's the hair is what threw him off. Beard is like whatever.
You did have short hair. I'd say it's the beard.
Yeah, but so what did Frosty do to you guys, man? Like after several days of playing games, of yelling at each other, eating some, maybe good and not good food, the deepest of dish pizzas, running the hotel gamut back and forth, and talking to everyone and anyone you can about whatever and why Gecko needs to be nerfed 8 ways from Friday and why Alawi bugs is still going on. All this stuff. Did Frosty recharge you, or did it wear you out?
Meza.
I'm so fucking excited. You have no idea. Yo, I've been grinding since I got home.
That's good.
No. You're a liar because you were grinding on the flight.
Oh damn!
Okay,
called you out. You couldn't even wait to get.
That's I knew. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I had like 30 minutes left on the flight, and I was kind of like hesitant at first because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm even gonna want to do this right now. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck it. pull the laptop out. I was like, no full performance. No care about the battery. I do feel like the competitive edge came back 100%. I signed up for I already signed up for Evo. I've already started planning out my plan. Like I was on, there's another event I'm going to. It's already locked in. Sorry for those who fucking can't show up. You're bad. You should have thought about it. But I'm going to PAX East, which is also going to have a 10K tournament.
Nice.
Which that's also the same week as Texas Showdown. Unfortunately, I would love to go to one or the other. I mean both, but can't do that. But yeah, no, I feel reinvigorated. Combo Breaker, I'm excited for. It just feels like everybody had that energy and just passed it to each other. And I was like, I thought I was gonna be kind of like, man, fuck this, I'm done. And I was like, yeah, I mean, come on, you should know. Like the night that we were playing, like, but Bacon literally came up to me. Bacon came up and he was like, yo, what the fuck is this team you're playing? Why are you still playing your shitty old team? And in my heart, I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna touch this team. And then he was like, nah, stop that shit. And then as soon as I went to go play you, I was playing the full new team. So, and yeah, I loved that I was doing that. It felt like being a baby in the FGC again and finding it all again.
Nice. What about you, Gabe? How you feel? You tired? Do you want to go play more Expedition 33 and Final Fantasy? Or are you gonna be sitting down and working on your situations and interactions a bit more?
Yeah, that's one of the conversations we had was definitely because I had a when I rewatched my Street Fighter match, I heard Ultra Dave. I was watching it with the guy that Mez was talking about with Bacon, and we were having a conversation about what Ultra David was saying in the match that I was in. He goes, "Oh, I guess he doesn't know the OS thing," and I'm like, who's this guy? I already personally am like, Ultra David, okay, commentary, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, God, he's actually right. What am I thinking about? So then I hearkened back to something that I was taught in a coaching thing about like a drive rush, cancel, blah, 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 mashing and blah, 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 and gaps and this and that. And I was like, oh, and it clicked. And I was able to bring it into me playing last night and playing today. And I'm like, oh, so it reinvigorated a lot for me, specifically that I can take a round. Oh, that's one of my favorite things. Yeah, different interactions, but I don't know if you remember CD Jr. His goes by Manny now. He's a Killer Instinct champion, 2014 Evo, Injustice aficionado. He knows, Ricky. Not Ricky? Rico Suave. He's good friends with him. Good friends with Coach Steve, New York native. And I told him about my match, and I was like, yeah, I did this. I baited a DP. I did the super. I did a safe jump, and I hit him, and I took the round. And he goes, see, everybody's human. And I was like, oh, snap. You're right. Yeah, it is true. But I think one of my favorite things, however, is seeing players like Gone Mad, who was our other roommate, do so well, and like even upset players that are like older than him that expect to do well. We had a nice conversation in the car in the Uber about different, like, I even asked him, I was like, where did you get your fighting games from? This is only in a couple of years, maybe in the last 5 years, that he's interested in fighting games. And he told me his whole like mapping. He's like, long story short. I'm like, no, keep the story long. And he's telling me where he started, and like he likes Zato and blah blah blah, all of this. And I don't like when people like try to discourage newer players. So I really take a lot of defensive action against that, because I'm like, no, we need to sort of help newer players up and like prop people up. Like I'm always gonna highlight them, even if I have to play myself, or for instance, even if I have to, like, is it at my detriment? That might be another thing that like I go easy on people because I'm like, I want other people to shine, but I got to remember at the same time I have to have a killer instinct too when I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just there's just something about that where somebody's like putting somebody else down who's had a good positive attitude about their gameplay, and it would be different if they had a negative attitude about their gameplay, and I'd be like, you know what, you still have stuff to learn about. But if they have a positive attitude and they're like consistently going for it and they're winning, then you have to build upon that. Get them to be motivated, get them to be consistent as well, and consistently get wins and let their name be known and all of that. So Yeah, shout outs to Gone Mad. Shout outs to TJ, who did amazing, and he won Marvel, and he's only like less than, I don't know if he's 20 years old or not. But shout outs to even our homie T Turtle, who's like young, and people are looking at him to see his tech. Like he told me that the twins were like, "Hey, you're they Google translated to him to ask him Timo tech."
Yeah,
that's beyond me. That was
amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's amazing. His tech is you get level 3s, he plays blitz. So if he levels 3s, he'll actually reach out to the screen and do this. If you're sitting right next to him, and he does that just to fuck with you. And I was laughing, and then eventually I was like, "Bro, you gotta stop that," because even I was getting annoyed. I was like, "Stop that shit, dog! What are you doing?" I wanted to smack him in the back of the head and be like, "Yo, shut."
When he was at our local, I told
you.
you he would play 12, and I'm like, "Okay, I have to turn this on. Like, I have to actually play the game now." So he's playing 12 to troll, and I'm like, "Oh, he's going under my fire."
Can I be honest? I think I might have actually fucked him over in tournament because I was sitting there watching play. He goes, "All right, should I stop fucking around now?"
Oh no!
I was like, "Yeah, bro, take it seriously." And I think I might have lost him that match because everybody gets coached differently. But for him, his best is when he's not taking it.
When he doesn't
seriously.
give
and he's playing for fun to take risk because he's still young. He's 25. I mean, that's a good way to take the risk, man. Do it now. But I just want to add on top of that, and that's all I have to say is I got to sit with the Pokken community, and it was very interesting to see the transition, like how Gabe's saying, like seeing the younger players kind of come up in the direction. And I love that we sat in a room and all the older players for Pokken just showed up, and even one of the middle of the pack players who was a little bit younger, he forgot who I was, and I've said hi to him every year at Frosty's. And it's so fucked up because he couldn't remember who I was. And Sundula, shout out to Sundula, he literally said, I'll put in $100 into the Pokken pot if you can figure out who this is by the end of the tournament. He made it to fucking losers finals, lost, and it was like, I still can't figure it out. We told him, and he was in shock. He was like, I am so sorry. I should have never fucking forgot. But it was cool.
It all blurs together.
And we talked about bringing everybody back for one last hurrah, probably next Frosty. So I think that would be pretty cool. But the new generation is just doing new shit. And it's cool because they've taken the helm and they've run with it because we pass it to them. I like seeing that.
Yeah, I think that's like funny enough. Like besides like a big, we really were on Static throughout the event. Like, bro, you gonna learn because Static has these pockets of like where you see him play. You see it all the time. TNS and like everybody probably has a Static story of him doing something wild, but it's like you need to make it consistent. So literally all tournament was us just trying to get him to get you to. I'm like I talk like as if your ass ain't even in here, but I'm talking to the listeners here. Is like Static has this potential and he represents really great potential. He just has bad habits and certain things, and like it's hidden in there, bro. Super Saiyan 2 is really in there. It's gonna take a couple of arcs, but I think we'll eventually get there. And when we do, it's gonna be insane. But that part is what felt like it was happening everywhere. Like everyone that interacted with, it was never about like not talking about the tech, not trying to share the tech, not trying to help each other understand and get better or talk shop about like how their gameplay was if you were there grinding it out. Even when it was casuals, even when it was just straight up casuals and you were just hanging around and someone sat down, hey, you sitting here? Someone sitting here? I'm like, oh, do you want to play? Like, yeah, let's do it. You just run the set and it was like, hey, you could do this. You can do that. You should do this. Like, oh, your gameplay was good for this, but I would adjust this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I felt that sentiment all over. And it might just, I hopefully it's not just because it was just 2X.
Oh, no. It happened in Street Fighter. I sat down with somebody in Street Fighter. He's like, oh, that's not real. Just EXDP that.
Oh, like, yeah. I remember you was talking like a GOG player or something like that, right? That was a GOG player that was like, letting you know. Right. No, I love that shit. I love that shit. Like, I don't.
He like did a move and he's like, dude, that's -1 even on Drive Rush. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
are you kidding me? Like,
that's funny. Like that art of like just exposing that to your opponent, whoever you're playing. Like, there's always been two sides of it. It's like, oh, don't tell them because like, they need to learn it. It's like, yeah, but you can literally just tell them so they learn it, right? Versus trying to figure it out, like, will take them longer. But if they learn it, then now that's a new interaction for you yourself to then learn because whatever they do is to counter you. So now you need to learn how to counter because someone else is going to know, but you won't know if they know until you try it in a match.
Yeah.
And if it's a tournament match, you want to be well equipped. You want to, now you got the game, right? The back and forth.
And I think it depends on your attitude when you sit down to play casuals. What are you sitting down to play casuals for? Is it to learn a new team? Is it to body this person that you don't know yet? And is this a show off? Because one time, somebody sat down with me to play Marvel, and I'm like, all right, I can get this first game, and then Dante come back, and I'm like, and then I'm dwelling on that, and I'm losing for like 10 straight. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just have fun. And then we sort of joked about something, and it became a little bit more loose. With the Guile player, I was, again, just talking to the person that I was playing, and then he was still trying to teach me stuff. He's like way younger than me. And he's from like New York or Brooklyn or something. And he's just telling me all these different things. I'm like, oh yeah. And then at the end, we're gonna talk about different things, or maybe Iron Grid or something in the future. But I say this because there's a huge parallel between a player that's asking questions and playing to get better, and a player that's saying, hey, one more, and they say no, 2 more. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Dre. We can talk about it.
2 more.
We can talk about it.
I learned this weekend that like something I've never seen before just like go down. So shout outs to Gio Braun, who was there. For those that have run the Philly scene or also played Marvel, you know who he is. Long-standing history. Incredible player. Plays 2X now. Plays Jinx and Darius. Very annoying team. And he was playing somebody in casuals. And like what Static was talking about, there's different attitudes you can come with. I've never seen. I have seen, but like it was kind of extensive. And listen, this is no shot to the person. I get it. You can get into your emotions, into your feelings about how you're playing, and sometimes you say things without maybe recognizing you're saying things. But my man was like blaming. He was blaming Giobron for like things for him getting hit. And I'm like standing there like, what? And he goes like, oh, like the assist took the hit, and then my parry then just didn't go. And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, like the stage doesn't expand past this, so like I actually couldn't move, so that's why you got the hit. And I was just like, yeah. I'm like still waiting to understand what's going on here. Like, yes, everything you're stating is true, but like everything you're stating is also preventative by you, so it's your fault. And I'm like watching, and then by the end he's done, and like George is like done. He's just laying the guy out. Like I don't think
like 400,000 to 1.
It was like 40 something to 1 or something, or 30 something to 1. Like my man got a 1 off, but George has just been creaming the guy. And then George is like, all right, like I'm at that point like yo, let's go. Like maybe let's go to this other spot. Let's go play casuals. Like I hadn't played George at that point, and he's like, yeah, 1 more. My man, like just stood up, not stood up, but he like got a little bit of his chest out. And he was like, nah. And at that point, I'm like, what? He's like, 2 more. I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like on the side, like, oh my God, you can do that? Like George was really adamant, like 1 more, and the dude went, nah, 2 more. Like he turned gangster like really quick, and I was just like, I almost lost my shit.
Didn't know this.
He proceeded to get bodied 2 more times. Because by the end, I was laughing. I remember now because it was like 43 to 1, and me and George was joking. I was like, it could have just been 42 to 1, dog, but you decided to, nah, you wanted 1 more, huh?
He did a perfect legend, bro.
That shit was hilarious. Yeah, I was like, I've heard this somewhere before, but like, I don't think it worked out. It never works out more when you get an ass whoop and you're like, nah. This many more. And it's like, okay, let me just prolong this ass whooping a little bit more, extend the battery on my back.
There was actually that brings up a really cool situation. I'm a person who loves teaching people, and I fucking wasn't in the mood to teach anybody. I think it was like right after I lost in tournament. I went back to the hotel, came back like a few hours later, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to just grind games. I want to just play people. And the first fucking person, I go up to sit down. I'm like, I see 2 people playing. I see the one guy's about to get up. I'm like, I got next. I'll play. And they both just get the fuck up and leave. And I'm like, are we serious? And I sat down, and the one guy behind me, shout out to P-Town Hero, he's from Jersey. This is the craziest shit ever. He goes, I'll play, but I don't know how to play this game at all. Can you teach me? And I was like, in my head, that like the meme where they're like, "Fa!" Like I was like, that's how I felt that inside, and I was like, bro, I was like, yeah, come on, man, sit down. I'll teach you. And I swear to God, I sat there and tried to teach him as much as I could in the short amount of time. He picked a lot of it up. We talked, we bantered. It was really fun to see somebody, from Jersey, coincidental. And we were talking about Iron Grade and all this other stuff. And he was like, yeah, man, you got to come out to Iron Grade. But we played like 30 to 40 matches and he was just losing. But he was like, yo, I think I'm figuring it out. I got one of your characters. And I was like, this is so awesome because look, as an older player, and I'll say this to anybody who is within our range of age, who's been playing it for as long as we have. If a new player comes up, whether they are new, quote unquote, to the FGC or new to a game, and they ask to be taught, fucking teach them, man. There's nothing you lose from that. You actually gain so much more.
Exactly. You gain another player, you gain another person that's going to be on the bracket. A TO gains another entry fee that can help support them, and potentially you gain someone that's also going to maybe play the game differently and give you a different experience, which then means it's more knowledge. So it is a win-win on every level. All it takes is a little bit of time. But yeah, I think overall, Frosty was just a successful ass tournament. It was a successful ass experience to have, to come back to also all three of us to be at. That was also a very special event for me as well to actually see that happen. It's been quite many a year since that has been a thing. But the best part is that we all met up and it was like nothing really changed.
Yeah, I was like, don't I see you like once a week anyway? Kinda?
I mean, we see each other, we talk to each other throughout the week, but to do it in person at a tournament, like nothing's really changed. Like, a little bit more gray in some areas. Execution might be a little slower at times, but the shit talking was still an all-time high. The degeneracy was still an all-time high, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Got to eat some lasagna or chicken parm. Yeah.
I got to eat a bread bowl. Basically, they called it pizza. Yeah.
Yo, wait.
Yeah, that's all that was.
What was the place we went? Buttermilk what city?
Buttermilk Cafe.
Yo, if anybody goes to Chicago, go to Buttermilk Cafe, bro, and order exactly what Giobron ordered, because this is the first thing he saw on the menu. He was like, guys, I don't know about you. Don't worry about it. I'm getting these appetizer biscuits. 4 biscuits, honey glazed. When I mean honey glazed, bro, you touch it, it's still a little sticky. Not fully,
still sticky.
Hear me out. I went to Buttermilk Cafe. No. Here's the tech. I went to Buttermilk Cafe in I think it was 19, the year me, Pedro, and my brother drove. We rented a car and we drove out there to Chicago. We went there because that was the recommendation from our Airbnb. And we get there and I was like, fire. I got what I got. I got what I got just the other day. Alabama hot chicken, something with biscuits and a Benedict. Blew my mind. Potatoes and everything. So when I went to Combo Breaker, I drove by myself 2 years ago. I went to the restaurant 2 days in a row. Fire. Bro, and then the time before that, I went once, but it was just because, and then I was late for the mystery game tournament. But anyway, I've gone every year. I've gone to Chicago, and now that one is the new one that's there. That's the closest one they have. So like now I don't have to go all the way out to Geneva. So if Frosty's is there in that area, or even when you go to Combo Breaker, go hit up. By the way, you have to reserve a spot. I should have reserved. It's worth reserving. Because we stood there for an hour watching tournaments while we were waiting for our food or waiting for our chair. Damn. Yeah, it was bad.
Okay, bad. All right, so with that, we're going to close that out. But I do want to close that out with a question of the week for you guys, the listeners out there. What makes someone feel welcomed at a tournament? It's what kind of has been the ongoing subject that has gone through, or the theme throughout Frosty Faustings. What we want to hear from you guys. Make sure we'll be posting that up, of course, on things like our Discord and all, which we plug in here in one quick second. But we do appreciate y'all for hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. You guys can, of course, follow the show at Double Tap FGC on all social media platforms, as well as on YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all over at Double Tap FGC. Check us out there. Subscribe for a video version of this podcast so you can check it out there. Make sure to follow my awesome host, Meza, at Meza FGC on all social media platforms, as well as on Twitch. What do you got going on? New year, same mix. What do we got going on?
YouTube, 2XKO, and I will be doing all of Expedition 33 strictly on stream. Nothing will be played off stream, all on stream.
Nice.
Hey, there we go.
I did that too, but I lost the VOD of my first chapter. So, not first chapter, but like the first, 20 minutes. So you don't have me.
That's just the intro. That's all it is.
Yeah. More.
Static, where can they find you at? Which is Static Gorilla.
Yeah, the same 2 places: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'm gonna get rid of the Instagram one. I don't do anything there. Anyway, Twitter, Twitch, and what's the one? YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me, dog. This is
Yeah,
your
I know,
plug.
right? No,
I'm pretty sure I follow you.
Yeah, somewhere. There. Yeah.
So check him out. He's gonna be playing more and more people, adding to his list of how many people he's played in Marvel and TNS.
Yeah, so
80
funny enough,
people running right now.
Funny story. Duelist, the guy who runs it, said he was going down the catalog to see who else I haven't played, and I've played about 80 different people at the start of the TNS so far. So hey, the more the merrier, right? And let's hope that instead of 80 people, it'd be more top 8. You know, yeah. Sorry, that was a stretch of a little
bit of a stretch,
yeah.
But we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'll try.
And you can follow me at #VS, of course, on Twitter. But most of the time, I'll be behind the Double Tap social media pages. So once again, feel free to follow there. If you haven't already, make sure to also join us on our Discord, doubletap.gg/Discord. Join our community, get involved with the question of the week polls, and talk shop with some of our fighting game homies there. And like I said, we'll be posting up the question of the week there so we can talk about it on the next episode. We are back to weekly. I keep kind of just reiterating that, but just want to make sure you guys still remember. We are back to weekly. We do have an episode every week. We're back to it. There's always plenty of things to talk about. There's plenty of things that we actually didn't get a chance to talk about on this episode, which we'll throw on to the next one as things go on and develop as the year goes on. But at the end of the day, it was all about Frosties. Frosty Faustings 2026 on my book. Incredible event. I think it's becoming a must-have. Great vibes, great times. Weather not the best, but hey, I'm biased towards that. Anywhere that disrespects my coat like that as soon as I get off the plane doesn't feel great. But hey, they can't control that. We ain't at that level yet. But until next time, guys, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Stay tuned for another episode, like I said, next week, and we'll see you guys then. Peace.